More Studios. I'm going to be talking about the chord spectrum. Basically, how do you go through all of your different chords? Okay, so this is not going to let me. Let's see here. Okay, you want a way to go through all the chords, but not all the chords. You want a way to kind of have a seed of just a way to get to every type of chord. Okay, and what I've done is I've kind of broken it up into triads, which is kind of like the club. Think of poker and a deck of playing cards. These are your triads. Okay, just your major chords, minor chords, dominant chords. And I always go back to this little 4-note, like the top 4 strings. I'll make the other 2. Like the top 4 strings, kind of focus on those, or 4 strings at a time, right? So you have your 1, 3, 5, 1. Okay, so you have your major, and then dot, dot, dot. Okay, all your 3-part chords. These are like your caged chords, cage system. And then something called shell chords, where you just have the 1, 3, and the 7, or the 1, 3, 6, dot, 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 like that. Okay, King Midas, major, minor, diminished, augmented, suspended. Okay, all of those. And okay, I was talking in the wrong end, so you probably couldn't hear what I was saying. Okay, then next is the diamond shape, 4 sides. These are your 7th chords, and you're like I'll just say 7th chords. Drop 2s, and then the caged. Have those 4 drop 2s. I'm just gonna. This is just your major 7 with a root, with the 1 on the bottom. 1, 5, 7, 3. You have 4 of these, 1 for each note in the chord. Okay, drop 2. Meaning it's kind of like, see that? 5, 7, 1, 3 is kind of like the straight kind of order chromatically of these notes. But if you drop the second one from the top, you get 1, 5, 7, 3. Drop 2. From there, thinking about playing cards, right? You have a spade. These are your 9ths, or your 9s, right? Drop 2 slash chords, like a major /4, things like that for the major 9 or 7 sus2. Focusing in on the top 4 strings. So we have our major over 4. So we just say, okay, just a random 1, 3. This is a 1, 3, 5. You want to put the 4 on the bottom. So if you know your intervals, that would be 4. So this would be a major 7 sus2, or a major 9 no 3, something like that. You renumber it. Seven, and then 2. Okay. Major 7 sus2. Major 9 no 3. Okay. 9th chords, 9s. Okay. That's the slash. You're thinking about slash right now, right? Your major over the 4. Or you could go drop 2. Okay, here's the thing where my video I made last time, a little bit too complicated. I think this is easier if you just know your drop twos, like I said, for the 7th chords. Okay, say major 7. We know that major 7, right? Okay, remember that? All right, now, if you know the numbers that go with this, 1, 5, 7, 3, and you know your intervals, all you have to do is make the 1 a 2. Okay, and that would be your major 9, no 1. Okay, or this would be a minor 7 substitution. You have to renumber. Gets complicated, but just know you drop 2, major 7, and then you make the 1 a 2. That'll be your major 9, no 1. And that kind of tells you, just saying major 9, no 1, and not, oh, this is a minor 7, because it is. If you just look at the shape, it's a minor 7 shape. But you think of it as a major 9, no 1, that kind of gives you the substitution you use if you want to play a major 9. Say that's the 1st fret. If that's a F major 7, then the red would be an F major 9, no 1. And if you want to put the 1 in, if you know your intervals, that's a 6, and then you go down 2 frets, and that would be your 1. So that's how you put your root in there. Okay, but main thing is to drop 2, make the 1 a 2, and just know in the back of your mind that's going to be a major 9, and you have the you need the 1. Okay, so that's that. So just keep that in mind. Now let's go to the next category. More notes. The heart shape. Deck of cards, right? Just think of these as 2 little ones right here, kind of forming the heart shape. Okay, now we have the major 9 sharp 11. Okay, it's not major 9 11 because the 9 and 11, they clash 3/4, a half step is the dissonance. So most people, if it's a major and 11th, they say major 9 sharp 11. So how we get that, we could do a drop 2, or you could do a slash. So let's do the drop 2. Same thing, okay. Start at the major 7. And then we make the 1 a 2. Now that would be major 9, no 1. But then you make the 5. Let me write this down, because a lot of people don't know the numbers, right? It's just 4 little voicings of this drop 2, like 7 shapes. Okay, it's just 4 note little. This is just one of them. Okay, it's 3 more from major 7. So you make the 1 a 2, and then you make the 5 a 6. Okay, and that will give. Wait. You make the 5. I'm thinking about something else. You make the 5 a sharp 4. My bad. Okay, half step down, so that would be a sharp 4. So that would be your major 9, or really it's major 7 sharp 11, no 5 to be exact, right? But that's your substitution. Okay, no 5, no 1, because you changed your 1 to a 2, you changed your 5 to a sharp 4, So it's a major 9, sharp 11, no 5, no 1. Now you can always plug back in the 1. Same way, same like we did before. Okay, I'm running out of a little space here. You know that's a 2, and then you go 6, skip 2 frets, there's your 1. All right, so then it would just be a major 7, sharp 11, no 5. Okay, but just to not get lost, just think of those top four strings, 4-note, 4-string shapes, and then you kind of branch out from there and use more strings, right? But okay, so there's the 11. So one last group. This is like if you've ever played 5 crowns, they have a 5th suit star. Okay. And these would be your 13s and your quartal chords. Quartals are just fourths. 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3. If you know your circle of fourths, you just pick out 4, 3, or 4 or more notes in the circle of fourths, right? And then you modify them. If it's a major quartal, minor quartal, you modify it accordingly. Okay, so here we don't do the drop 2, we do circle of fourths, and that's why I call this 13s and quartals kind of group, because it's 13th, it's so many notes, it's easier just to think in terms of fourths. I'll show you. Okay, it's going to be abbreviated, but you can go okay, this is minor 7, flat 5. Flat 5, flat 7, flat 3. Okay? Now, you have to know the formula. Dominant 13 equals 1 underscore minor 7, flat 5 on the 3. So that means that your minor 7, flat 5 is a substitute for your dominant 13. Okay? To make this, okay. Okay, this is like either a minor 7, flat 5 or a dominant 13, no 1, no 3. Can you plug in the 1, a 1, no 1, 4, 5. Okay. You renumber it. 1. This is the stuff I was getting into in the last video, which I think is kind of complicated for a beginner. But anyway, just going back, if you just know those 4-note shapes and kind of draw from those, that's the main takeaway from this video. Just having these basic shapes and drawing from them. The caged shapes, your cowboy chords, C-A-G-E-D, those, and your 4 drop 2 shapes for your major, minor, and dominant 7 chords. Your quartals, right? Just knowing quartal, the circle of fourths, and how to put those out there. And then the slash chords, having a triad over some type of bass note. Those methods, cage, slash, drop 2, quartals, just knowing intervals, those will help you get to all these different chords, right? And that's the end of the chord spectrum, right? It's not every chord in the world, but it's a sampling of every kind of little type of chord that you'll see. Okay, let me finish this up. So this would be a 1, 3, flat 7, 2, 5. Okay, so this was a dominant 9. This is a dominant 9. A dominant 13 goes, I know this is so confusing, but dominant 13, I'll just keep making videos, try to make it more clear. But a dominant 13, you would sharp that, or not sharp it, but add a whole step. And then that would be your dominant 13. So this would be like a minor 7. If that was a, okay, that'd be a minor 7 flat 5 sus 4. And see, the minor 7 flat 5 drop 2, that should be a shape that you just kind of memorize, right? Like I said, those drop 2 shapes, major, minor, dominant, and then this is a minor 7 flat 5. But you can get that if you just don't just know the shapes, kind of know where the root is and where all the notes are, all the numbers are. Okay. All right, so that's Old Morgan Studios. One more time, I hope this kind of helps you. It's a little bit different from the other videos. I try to just give a rundown of the overall chord spectrum so you can kind of see where everything is. Okay. All right, hope you learned something. Old Morgan Studios signing off.